Hey there, horror fans. Imagine this, your very first cruise, a luxurious ship, endless ocean views, and the promise of a dream vacation. That's exactly what I thought too, until my dream turned into a nightmare. It all started innocently enough. I boarded the ship with a sense of excitement and wonder. The first night was magical, lavish dinners, live music, and the soft rocking of the boat lulling me to sleep. But then, things took a dark turn. I woke up in the middle of the night to the sound of whispering. It was faint, almost like a distant echo. At first I thought it was my imagination, but then the whispers grew louder. I got up and followed the sound down the dimly lit hallway. The ship seemed eerily deserted. The whispers led me to a door I hadn't noticed before. It was old and worn, unlike the rest of the modern ship. My curiosity got the better of me, and I opened it. Inside, I found a narrow staircase leading down into darkness. Against my better judgment, I descended. I found myself in a part of the ship that looked abandoned. The air was cold and smelled of mildew. The whispers were louder now, almost deafening. I followed them to a cabin at the end of the corridor. The door creaked open, revealing a room untouched by time, dust-covered furniture, cobwebs, and an old, faded photograph of a family. Suddenly, I felt a chill run down my spine. The whispers stopped, replaced by a low, guttural growl. I turned around and saw a shadowy figure standing in the doorway. Its eyes were hollow, and its presence sent waves of terror through my body. I tried to scream, but no sound came out. I bolted out of the room, racing back up the stairs. As I reached the main deck, I realized the ship was different. The corridors seemed to shift and twist, leading me in circles. Panic set in as I realized I was trapped in some twisted maze. I finally stumbled into the ship's ballroom. It was empty, but the chandeliers flickered ominously. I heard footsteps behind me and turned to see the shadowy figure again. It seemed to glide toward me, its hollow eyes locked onto mine. Desperate, I ran to the nearest exit and found myself back on the deck. The night was eerily silent, the ocean calm, but I knew I had to get off the ship. I spotted a lifeboat and quickly climbed in, lowering myself into the water. As I drifted away, I looked back at the ship. To my horror, the shadowy figure stood on the deck, watching me leave. Its hollow eyes were the last thing I saw before the ship disappeared into the night. I was rescued the next morning by a passing vessel. When I told them what happened, they looked at me with a mix of pity and disbelief. They said the ship I described had sunk years ago, taking its passengers with it. To this day, I can still hear the whispers. And sometimes when I close my eyes, I see those hollow eyes staring back at me. So if you ever find yourself on a cruise, beware of the whispers in the dark. You never know what might be lurking in the shadows.